clock had stopped at 2:03. The moon hung low behind the tree. No cars, no wind, no shifting floor, just shadows stretching from the door. I sat alone, the house asleep, when something stirred inside too deep. I found her in the quietest hour. No voice, no shape, no scented flower, just presence like a softened breath, too whole for ghosts, too still for death. She touched the edge of who I am, and suddenly I gave a damn. I found her in the quietest hour, and time stood still to grant its power. The light was off, the air was cold, but in that hush, her hands took hold. She didn't speak, she didn't move, yet every ache began to soothe. She sat where once her pillow lay, and smiled like dawn in muted gray. I found her in the quietest hour, not flesh or bone, but blooming flower. A hush that hung beneath my skin, like lullabies from deep within. No photograph, no trace to find, just echo dancing through my mind. I found her in the quietest hour. When grief gave grace a final bower. Some love returns not in the day, but when the world has stepped away. When silence hums its sacred song, she comes to prove she's never gone. I found her in the quietest. I wrote it down on hotel notepads, folded lines between the good and bad. Your name in ink, your laughing rhyme, a second chance that missed its time. I kept it hidden in my coat, the weight of every word I wrote. It's the note I never sent, full of things I might have meant, 1,000 truths I never spoke, in sentences that nearly broke. No address, no final page, just thoughts that couldn't leave the cage. without event. It had your song, it had your storm. It kept my side of love still warm. I crossed out lines, I wrote too fast, like I still love you from the past. I signed it once, then changed my name, afraid you'd read it just the same. It's the note I never sent, a quiet scream, a last lament. It said too much, not enough, like half a dance, like broken stuff. You wouldn't know what it could mean, but in my hands it still felt clean. The note I never sent was where my silence went. I thought of mailing it each spring, but some confessions clip their wings. Though I moved and let you go, that paper stays beneath my soul. Ooh. It's the note I never sent, not for lack of will or punishment, but some truths die too slow to speak and bloom in ink but never leak. So if one day you wonder why no love was there, just pass by, in the note I never sent, still folded where I meant. The trees still sway in morning light, but none of them will say it right. The breeze that used to kiss her hair now dances past like she's not there. I called her name into the sky, but clouds just moved and passed me by. Even the wind won't speak her name. It whispers soft, but not the same. The fields stay still, the lake won't stir. No echo dares remember her. I beg the pines to sing her tune, but silence fell on sun and moon. Even the wind won't speak her name, like loss itself forgot its claim. She walked these hills in summer's breath, but left before the fall of death. The swing she loves still creaks at dawn, but never sways since she's been gone. I stood where laughter used to land, but found just dust inside my hand. Even the wind won't speak her name. It once would dance, now it's just tame. The ocean hums a different key, avoiding chords of memory. The sparrow waits to start its song, as if it knows that name is wrong. Even the wind won't speak her name, and nature too has left frame. Maybe the earth has made a pact to guard her name and not look back. Or maybe I'm the only one still chasing ghosts beneath the sun. Even the wind won't speak her name, and I've grown tired of taking blame. If gales forget and rivers hush, then maybe loss is in the hush. So I just sit beneath the sky and let her fade without goodbye. Even the wind won't speak her name, so neither will I, just the same. She wore her scarves like fading light, spoke soft as wind before the night. Her laugh would echo through the trees, then vanish with October's breeze. She came when summer lost its heat, with boots and books and cold swept street. She only loved me in fall, when amber leaves began to call, when sweaters clung and cider steamed, and hearts were less than what they seemed. She'd hold me close, then start to fade, like colors dying in the shade. She only loved me in fall, and left before the first snowball. We traced our names in window glass, watched golden days too quickly pass. She hummed old songs of rolling hills, then paused before the fire chills. I begged the sun to stretch its stay, but seasons don't delay their way. She only loved me in fall, when shadows danced along the wall, when pumpkins smiled and boots kicked leaves. But love, like trees, has times it grieves. She'd say, I'm not the winter kind, then kiss me once and slip the bind. She only loved me in fall, like stories meant to be so small. Now every year when cold winds chase, I seek her smile in strangers' face, but none remain. They drift like rain, while I still wait for her refrain. She only loved me in fall, a whispered truth of golden sprawl. She never stayed beyond the frost, yet somehow still I count her lost. And though the years have shared her sound, I hear her crunching leaves around. She only loved me in fall, and maybe that's not love at all. The lamp still hums its golden tune. The curtains breathe beneath the moon. Her sweater's hanging by the door, like she might wear it once more. The chair still leans the way she sat, the air unchanged, imagine that. But the room didn't know she's gone. It carried on like dusk to dawn. The books still stack, the mirror clear, as if she's just out grabbing beer. I called her name, the walls just sighed, the shadows stretched but never cried. The room didn't know she's gone, but I do, every hour drawn. The tea she steeped went cold last week. Her slippers quiet, her closet meek. The photos haven't dimmed or bled, but none of them recall what's said. The clock still ticks in steady rhyme, yet mocks me now with hollow time. The room didn't know she's gone. It dressed itself in same old song. The bedsheet holds her fading shape, but knows no sorrow, shame, or scrape. I whispered truth into the air, but nothing shifted, nothing cared. The room didn't know she's gone, still staged like nothing ever's wrong. They say rooms learn to echo loss, to hold the weight, to feel the cost. But mine just keeps her in display, as if she'll walk back in today. The room didn't know she's gone. Its heart keeps beating, mine moves on. But every object plays pretend that love like ours does not just end. And so I sit in what remains among the lamps and silent frames. The room didn't know she's gone, but I do, and I can't be long. The room was still, no clock would tick. The light was low, the shadows thick. But somehow she was in the air, not seen, not touched, but always there. The quiet curved the way she stood, a silent echo made of wood. Even silence knows her shape, the way she leaned, the way she draped. Her sweater hung like breath on glass, still frozen in the time we passed. No sound, no voice, no falling rain. Yeah, doesn't try escape. The hallway hums her parting steps. The floor still keeps where laughter slept. I reach for words, they won't arrive. Just stillness learning to survive. Her name's not said, her song's not played, but every hush holds what she weighs. Even silence knows her shape, like hands that never quite ungrape. She's carved in pauses, steeped in hush, and every dusk and coffee rush. I speak to space, the air replies with all the ways she never dies. Even silence knows her shape. The outline lost can never scrape. They said that time would clean the glass, that silence fades like seasons pass. But I have found in every calm, she lingers more than memories born. Even silence knows her shape. Where candles flicker, hearts reshape. Where nothing moves, and yet You stopped laughing weeks before the suitcase ever touched the floor. You stopped calling me your light long before our final fight. And though your boots still lined the mat, your soul had slipped, I noticed that. I stayed, you left first, in silence shaped like something cursed. You stood right there, but not the same. A shadow dressed up in my name. I held the frame, you kept the dust. I stayed for love, you stayed for trust. But I stayed, and you left first. A soft departure, unrehearsed. We made the bed, but not the vow. You kissed my cheek, but not somehow. The way you did when we were flame. Now every spark avoids my name. I watched you drift while staring still, and called that love by force of will. I stayed, you left first, in little words that once conversed. You drank the wine, but not the toast. You walked beside, but not that close. And when the night came cold and slow, I reached for warmth you didn't show. Yes, I stayed, and you left first. That's what absence does at worst. Some people leave by walking out, but pages fading while still read, like saying home and choosing instead. I stayed, you left first. No slam door, no spoken burst, just drifting breath and backward eyes, and all our truths in small disguise. Now I sleep where you once turned, still feeling all the things you burned. I stayed, you left first, and maybe that's what I deserve. It started where her shoulder turned, the golden sheen no longer burned. The way the sun once kissed her skin now faded soft and folded in. No sudden dark, no violent fall, just light retreating from the wall. Where the light undid, our warmth began to skid. No spotlight left on what we were, just shadows drifting out of blur. No lid, no bid. Where the light undid, we lost the glow we never hid. The corners used to shine with us, a radiance in every hush, but windows stopped their gentle play and let the color drain away. Her smile reflected less each time, like photos left in sun too long. Where the light undid, the love no longer slid between the cracks of daily grace, and just empty gold on silent space. No word amid. Where the light undid, we watched the morning slowly rid. I chased the beam across the floor, but found it knocking on no door. And when she turned to say goodbye, the room forgot how light replies. Where the light undid was where her shadow hid. No spark remained for me to hold, just dust pretending to be gold. No cry, no kid. Where the light undid is where our quiet truth was bid. used to lean upon the pane, with morning light across her frame. The glass would fog where she would breathe, then clear with words she'd never leave. But now it only frames the trees. No silhouette, no warmth, no keys. What the window held has long since been dispelled. No trace of hand, no gaze remains, just light that bends through empty panes. No tale retell what the window held was gone before I even knelt. The curtain sways without her there, a dance with ghosts that left nowhere. And though the sun still finds its line, it doesn't catch what once was mine. The birds still fly beyond the glass, but none reflect the time we passed. What the window held no longer can be spelled. It kept her glance, her Sunday hum, her whispers soft as kettles drum. But now no meld. What the window held is just the sky where day once dwelled. They say that glass remembers shape, but even it can't hold escape. And so I sit and barely blink, as if the past could learn to sing. What the window held has quietly been shelled. No voice to press, no frame to trace, just silence dressed in outer space. No tear expelled. What the window held was all I lost but never felt. They say that glass remembers shape, but even it can't hold escape. And so I sit and barely blink, as if the past could learn to sing. No tear expelled. What the window held was all I lost but never felt. She didn't stay, she didn't try, just touched my life and passed me by, like sunlight on a passing train. Too brief to name, too bright to frame. But ever since the colors bend, as if she taught the day to win, passing through her light, the shadows turned polite. She didn't stay, but changed the tone of every room I walk alone. No fire, no fight, just passing through her light. And I'm still warmed by what she shone. She said so little, smiled so wide, left no regrets, left no goodbye. But something in the way she breathed rewrote the air, then quietly left. Now morning finds my window bare, yet golden with her not quite there. Passing through her light like dust that holds the night. She wasn't mine, she wasn't lost, but gave me peace without a cost. No claim, no right, just passing through her life. And somehow that still feels like flight. Some people blaze, some leave a mark. She lit the corners of my dark. No need for names or photographs, just how the day now gently laughs. Passing through her light, she changed the world in slight. And though she's gone without a trace, the warmth remains an empty space. No wrong, no right, just passing through her light. And I still see the world that way. This sky was clear, or so we thought. No clouds to hide the love we caught. Your hands were trembling near my sleeve, like stars that burn then choose to leave. We kissed beneath a willow tree, but nothing looked, no one could see. The moon wasn't watching us, no silver light, no glowing trust, just shadows stretching through the grass, like moments made to never last. We thought the night might bless our name, but silence swallowed all the flame. The moon wasn't watching us, and so we vanished without fuss. You whispered truth, both small and deep, like prayers you'd borrowed just to keep. I held your face, you closed your eyes, as if that made it less like lies. But when I looked to catch a sign, the sky was blank, no sacred line. The moon wasn't watching us, no witness hung in midnight's hush, just breath and touch, then slow retreat, like waves that never kiss your feet. We weren't a story stars would save, just echoes no one ever gave. The moon wasn't watching us, so even fate won't speak of us. used to think all love was seen by heaven's high and fields serene, but now I know some hearts collide where even starlight fails to bite. The moon wasn't watching us. It turned its face, withheld its trust, and now the night just feels too wide without the pull of you inside. I walk alone past where we stood, the sky above still cold and good. The moon wasn't watching us, and maybe that's why it fell just. They say the heart still keeps a trace of every smile, of every face. But in this room where we once lay, not even shadows choose to stay. The air is flat, the floor is dry, no whispers left, no echoes cry. Even her ghost fled. No hauntings in my bed, no creaking floor, no candle dim, no distant hum of phantom hymn, just space and dread. Even her ghost fled, like memory too tired to tread. I called her name into the night, but silence swallowed all the light. No chill upon the window pane, no voice that trembles in the rain. She didn't linger, didn't stay, not even dreams come through this way. Even her ghost fled, left not a thread, no perfume caught in linen folds, no glance behind the cupboard holes, no sign she bled. Even her ghost fled, like grief that simply chose instead. Some leave a mark in time's long spine, but she erased both hers and mine. I search in places most forget, but all I find is blank regret. Even her ghost fled, no visions overhead, just stillness deep enough to drown. No flickers dressed in tattered gowns, no voice I'd wed. Even her ghost fled and left this house too dead to dread.
We didn't fight, we didn't break, no dishes thrown, no big mistake. Just quiet evenings, side by side. We're all gone to hide. The tea went cold, the light stayed on, but something warm was dead and gone. The quiet one first, before the vows reversed, before the bags were ever packed, before the smiles had even cracked, it slipped and cursed. The quiet one first, and love forgot what it rehearsed. No thunder came, no doors were slammed, just silent rooms that slowly jammed. The clock still ticked, the sink still dripped, but every glance was tightly zipped. We spoke in nods and sipped the air, pretending not to know or care. The quiet one first, no warning, no outburst. It spread between the morning news and filled the space like phantom shoes, no line rehearsed. The quiet one first, and took us both without the worst. Not all end, shout or rage or run. Some disappear like setting sun. And when you speak but hear no sound, you learn which battles leave no ground. The quiet one first, no blood but still a hearse. It claimed our house, our daily breath, and left us only signs of death, too still to nurse. The quiet one first, and love forgot the way to thirst. The sky pretended it was blue, as if it didn't miss her too. The sun came out but looked away. It didn't warm me much that day. The wind wore spring like Sunday clothes, but carried silence no one chose. The sky pretended it was blue, but I could see the aching through. It painted light on every tree, while shadows whispered back to me. And though the clouds were white and slow, they held a grief they didn't show. The sky pretended it was blue, just like I used to, loving you. Loving you. The neighbors smiled like morning news. The birds rehearsed their happy cues. But underneath their scripted grace was something cracked they couldn't face. I walked alone beneath the hue of something false and far from true. The sky pretended it her face to light, but now that color stings too bright. I almost waved into the air, but knew full well she wasn't there. The sky pretended it was blue, and I pretended I moved through. It's funny how the world puts on its makeup just to carry on, while hearts like mine are out of tune, still stuck inside a colder June. The sky pretended it was blue, like postcards sent but never do. It offered hope in vain disguise to blind the tears beneath my eyes. And though it shines, it doesn't mend, for skies don't break and hearts don't bend. The sky pretended it was blue, and I still miss her through and through.
She used to sit beside the fire with books and tea the day expired. Her knees tucked in, her fingers bent. On every page her silence went. Now all the light feels rearranged, but only one thing hasn't changed. Only the chair stayed, its cushion sunk, its fabric frayed. No echoes left, no scent remains, but still it holds invisible chains. No voice obeyed, only the chair stayed, like it still waits to be repaid. I moved the frames, I swept the floor, I painted walls, replaced the door. The lamp is new, the curtains pale, but that old chair still tells the tale. I sit beside but not within, it holds the shape of where she's been. Only the chair stayed, while all the rest decayed. I tried to sell it once or twice, but couldn't name a worthy price. So there it lay, only the chair stayed, like it refused to be betrayed. Some things remember what we kept, like creaks and floors and fading plants. I let her go, I cleared the air, but couldn't move that waiting chair. Only the chair stayed, unchanged, unmoved, unplayed. No shadow sits, no comfort calls, yet still it stares across the walls, like love delayed. Only the chair stayed, and somehow that feels more than made. held your coat above your hair. I stood and watched the water stare. The bus had gone, the lights were dim, but neither spoke of her or him. The thunder rolled like distant truth. We just stood like strangers soon. We waited through the rain, like silence might explain the pain. No questions asked, no plans unmade, just dripping time we let cascade. We didn't say what came before, or who we were beyond that door. We waited through the rain and knew we'd never be the same. Your fingers traced the window fall, like lovers lost inside a log. You said it's late, I said I know, but neither moved to let it show. The street lamp flickered overhead, like even light could beg instead. We waited through the rain, like maybe stillness could remain. The kind of hush that holds two hearts, that ache but never pull apart. We stayed not close, not far away, both hope and rain had more to say. We waited through the rain, because goodbye felt too insane. And though the clouds began to lift, we lingered like a final gift. For once the sky had cleared its face, we'd lose the time, we'd lose this place. We waited through the rain, like memories etched on window pane. No kiss to end, no last embrace, just water running down the face. And when you turned and walked alone, the sound of drops became my own. Your coat was gone from off the chair. No keys, no note, no perfume there. But on the table by the sun, a coffee cup said what you'd done. The lipstick marked the rising steam, felt louder than a shouted scream. The cup was still warm, like you had just outrun the storm, like you had paused to take a breath before you chose a different depth. It held no words, it held no name, but told me love had left the frame. The cup was still warm.
but you were already gone. I touched the rim, it burned my skin, the way a ghost might pull you in. No sound, no slam, no final line, just coffee cooling over time. I sat and stared like it might speak, but heat runs out and hearts go weak. The cup was still warm, like silence wearing someone's form. A trace of you in porcelain that wouldn't say where you had been. And though the toast sat in the rack, I knew you wouldn't be back. The cup was still warm, like love before it's torn. Some people leave with teary songs, but others go where stillness belongs. And all they leave are subtle signs, like cups and coats and crooked blinds. The cup was still warm, and that was how I knew the harm. It wasn't rage, it wasn't fight, just leaving wrapped in morning light. I drank it slow, then let it be the last small heat you left with me. The cup was still warm, but colder than it used to be. The kettle sings, but not like her. No lilt, no laugh, no whispered stir. She used to hum while boiling tea. Now silence sits where she would be. The hallway holds a colder sound, since all her vows stopped hanging round. Where her voice used to be is just the hum of memory. No melody to fill the room, no notes to chase away the gloom. I strain to hear a spoken trace, but only stillness takes her place. Where her voice used to be, there's only me and vacancy. She spoke in ways both soft and wide. Her words would bloom and never hide. Now every wall reflects my tone, and echoes prove I live alone. The wind blows through, the floors will creak, but none of them sound quite like speak. Where her voice used to be is just the scrape of falling key. The radio outside, don't sing alone. I called her name in last night's dream, but woke to stillness cold and clean. Where her voice used to be is now a hush that shadows me. I read aloud, but it falls flat, like strings without the notes they sat. She gave the house its steady tune. Now night arrives a bit too soon. Where her voice used to be, I pour my words like lost debris, but all the vowels collapse mid-air, with no soft voice to meet them there. Though I speak into the light, I'm answered only by the night. Where her voice used to be still aches in every melody. They laid him down on a Tuesday rain. No flowers bought, no grand campaign, just flannel sleeves and boots half tied, and stories whispered, none denied. He wasn't loud, he wasn't clean, but damn, he lived in between. And the last song played at his funeral was one he wrote but never sang. A tape they found behind the stove, full of rust and no name tag. It cracked and hissed like old regrets, but held the truth he never said. The last song played at his funeral brought back the love he once had fled. The preacher paused, unsure what to do, so they let the chorus echo through. Just chords and lines in gravel tone of nights he spent out on his own. No organ swells, no polished hymn, just what was left inside of him. The last song played at his funeral didn't climb, didn't cry, didn't plead. It just sat there like a folded shirt, full of stains and open knee. No key change, no crescendo grand, just a man trying to understand. The last song played at his funeral was softer than they thought he'd be. Some don't leave with marble words, they leave with notes they never heard. And in those lines, they She stood beneath the amber sky, a shadow drawn before goodbye. Her hands were calm, her breath was low. The world turned slow, but she let go. I thought she'd pause or turn around, but silence held its sacred ground. She walked past dusk, beyond the glow, where day forgets the things we know. No lanterns lit, no voices call, just evening leaves that slowly fall. No rush, no husk. She walked past dusk and left me watching shadows grow. The porch light burned my coffee cool. The birds had hushed, the crickets ruled. I watched her fade into the blend of fading blue that marked the end. The orange left her hair like flame, then vanished with no one to name. She walked past dusk like parting air, too soft to grasp, too real to bear. The trees all leaned, but made no sound, as if they knew she wouldn't turn around. No ask, no must. She walked past dusk, and I just froze and stood right there. They say dusk is where love lingers, a twilight trace on tired fingers. But some walk through and don't look back, and leave you staring at the black. No ask, no musk. She walked past dusk, and I just froze and stood right there. They say dusk is where love lingers, a twilight trace on tired fingers. But some walk through and don't look back, and leave you staring at the black. There's a diner where the jukebox stalls, postcards fade on bathroom walls. The streets forget what day it is. The clock just hums and softly sits. The train rolls by, but no one waves, just silence lined with window shades. It's a town where nobody says goodbye, where lovers leave but never cry. No waving hands, no final look, just names erased from checkout books. The doors don't slam, the lights stay dim, and time walks out on phantom limbs. A town where nobody mail slot stuffed with autumn leaves. And somewhere deep behind the glass, a woman watches seasons pass. The barber trims, the preacher speaks, but no one asks where someone sneaks. It's a town where nobody says goodbye, just disappears into the sky. Like foggy dawn or dreams at 4, they leave their boots beside the door. No promises, no car alarms, just hollow steps and empty arms. A town where nobody says goodbye, they just go missing by and by. And maybe I belong right there, where silence hides in open air, where parting's not a thing you do, you just become someone they knew. It's a town where nobody says goodbye, where I once lived, so did I. No farewell notes, no candles blown, just one more shadow walking home. And if you find my voice goes dry, it's 'cause I lived like others tried. A town where nobody says goodbye, just hearts that learn to not ask why. No suitcase dragged across the tile, no door left open for a while, no letter folded on the bed, just empty air where words were said. Her breath still lingered in the sheets, but silence wrapped around her feet. She walked out through the quiet. No thunder, no riot, no final shout to mark the end, just echoes where we used to bend. The coffee brewed, the clock still ticked, but she was gone so clean, so quick. She walked out through the quiet and took the noise we used to riot. The sun rose like it always did, but couldn't find where she had hid. Her cup still waited on the scene, but something deep inside stood still. No creak of floor, no closing gate, just absence filled with subtle weight. She walked out through the quiet, like dusk dissolving diet. No broken frames, no shattered glass, just calm erasing all we passed. I checked the halls, I called her name, but silence echoed back the same. She walked out through and left the peace, I can't deny it. Some say the loudest ends are clean, but hers was soft and unforeseen, a hush that held the final chord, like closing prayer we can't afford. She walked out through the quiet. No storm, no need to try it. Just vanished like the night at dawn. When shadows stretch, then they are gone. And though I breathe, I barely speak. The quiet now is all I seek. She walked out through the quiet. Now it's where I stay.
We used to talk till candles died, then sat in stillness side by side. No need for questions, no replies. The room was full of unsaid whys. But in that hush, your fingers moved, a kind of grace that silence proved, and all that silence understood. The way we hurt, the way we could. It knew our joy, it knew our scars. It kept our secrets safe in jars. No need for vows, no carved out script, just breaths between the love we sipped. All that silence understood, more than our speaking ever could. You'd pour the tea, I'd hum a tune. We'd let the day dissolve too soon. The ticking clock became our verse, a language calm, both gift and curse. And when you wept, you didn't say, but silence held you anyway. And all that silence understood, the pull, the push, the barely good. It hurt our dreams before we spoke. It mended hearts before they broke. We never needed grand declare, just one still gaze, just being there. All that silence understood and stayed when no one else withstood. Now you are gone, the rooms remain, but silence echoes soft with pain. Yet still it knows the shape you left and cradles me in what was kept. And all that silence understood still walks me through this empty wood. No words to song, no song to play, just quiet that won't walk away.
love she left behind. No photograph, no parting line, no sweater draped across the bed, no lipstick stained goodbye, she said. Just one small mirror in the dash, folded shut, no trace of ash. The mirror she left in your glove box still holds the light from nights gone soft. Her face, the ghost it used to frame, now only shows your eyes in shame. No perfume scent, no diamond shine, just your reflection out of time. The mirror she left in your glove box knows more of her than you ever thought. You thought to toss it once or twice, on long drives full of bad advice, but something in its quiet way felt closer than the hands of fate. It never cracked, it never spoke, but every glance a kind of smoke. The mirror she left in your glove box still watches you at every stop. No radio or passing town can quiet what it keeps around. She never wrote, she never called, but left the thing that says it all. The mirror she left in your glove box reflects the fall you can't outwalk. Some leave letters, some leave scars. She left silence between stars. And while your hands are on the wheel, the glass reminds you how to feel. The mirror she left in your glove box still waits beneath the twist and lock. And if you dare to lift the lid, you'll see the man who never did. Say what he should or hold you close. Now all he keeps is what she chose. The mirror she left in your glove box.
She hated highways, hated rain, said leaving towns just felt like shame. She liked her coffee near the stove, her music soft, her footsteps slow. But yesterday the tank was full, and all her doubts turned quiet dumb. She never drove this far, never chased a dying star. The map untouched, the tires clean, but now they hum like in a dream. No breadcrumb trail, no backward glance, just one last key, one final chance. She never drove this
around on stormy nights. Said bridges scared her to the bone, but now she drives and drives alone. No phone call sent, no station played, just open roads and love mislaid. She never drove this far, never past the county bar. She left her coat, her favorite cup, but took the will to not give up. And though her past was filled with stay, she found the nerve to look away. She never drove this far until the day she broke apart. Some leave fast, some leave slow, some you never think will go, but quiet hearts still find a lane when holding on becomes a chain. She never drove this far, never pushed the door ajar, but freedom comes with wind and speed, and sometimes fear is what we need. So if you see a car pass by with tear-drenched eyes beneath the sky, she never drove this far, but now she knows how far scars are.